Today's podcast was recorded at the 2022 Green Industry Hype House in Tampa, Florida. This year's Hype House is sponsored by the Hardscape Academy and the Lawntrepreneur Academy. Caleb and Brittany Allman invite you to visit the hardscapeacademy.com, where you'll find on-demand video courses and workshops. It's educational training to help you optimize your time, resources, and make more money. LawnTrepreneurAcademy.com, started by Brian and Liz Fullerton, is dedicated to giving lawn care professionals all of the content and resources needed to reach more customers, grow your business, and be more successful. Enjoy today's podcast, and remember to check out both the Hardscape Academy and the LawnTrepreneur Academy.
You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no-nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Allyn has the same shoes.
Those are the Christian megachurch dad shoes.
Right.
Every dad that goes to a megachurch and raises his hallelujah on a Sunday morning, which is me, bro.
You can't hate me because you hate me, okay? And these are on God. I don't know.
Bro.
These are he found them through the advertisement in the AARP magazine.
No.
That's only because they offered him 10% off. Promo code Allyn.
Next time you go to church, go look at all the men that are 35 to 45. They're all wearing those shoes, I promise.
Well, they're fancy schmancy. It's for wealthy, successful, good-looking individuals.
We
actually have a new partnership we just want to announce with OnCloud. And promo code Brian's 10. No, we don't, but that actually we don't.
That is a cool brand, though, that grew their presence all on mostly Facebook. So.
Look, I don't even know their story. All I know is that we're leaving for Florida. We're in toboggan weather. We're wearing mittens, gloves, boots.
What's a toboggan?
I don't even know.
It's like a fancy word for a warm hat.
Overalls and maybe I don't even know. It's like bonbons. I don't know what a bonbon is, But Liz goes, "Hey, we're going to Florida. We need some clothes and some shoes." And I'm like, "Okay." She's like, "Go to Nordstrom, get some shoes." I'm like what ones? Because I'm gonna get it wrong, and because that's how it works. Liz and my relationship. So I'm like, "Which ones do you want me to get?" And she goes, "Get some." Well, just make that in there really quick. And she's like, "Get some on clouds." I'm like, "Oh, okay. On what?" So I literally bought 3 different ones. We brought 2. Probably take something back because. You're not going to buy one and get it wrong.
Bro, Tuesday night men's group, you guys wear that?
No, we're more of like a Wednesday night group, Okay.
But just telling you.
Well, I got the professional work boot over here, the sandal.
Yeah, these are Florida work boots. Yeah. OSHA approved here.
I bet. I don't even know how to start a podcast. So we got Allyn Hane in the house, the lawn care nut, joined by Brett Goodyear. Not related at all, though.
Not at all.
Nobody left your name anywhere, like on a piece of paper?
No.
Good Lord, that's Travis. Isn't that like a third cousin or something?
And it's a terrible name to have as a kid. I mean, like every kid thought they were funny because they're like, "Ooh, Brett Goodyear."
That's awful. Oh, I get it.
My whole life, and then everybody thinks that they've made up the joke. Like everybody's like, "Oh, like a good year." Like, "Oh, you having a good year?" I'm like, bro, I've never heard that one before. Really, really good job.
That's tough.
My dad likes Michelin better.
It's like literally watching 2 dads while we're here about just so you know, have dad jokes. So
bro,
you guys are great.
My last name is in everyone's underwear.
Hane?
Yeah, so I mean, it's
wait till I get my Hanes on you.
Yeah, so it's
Sounds creepy.
I totally understand where he's coming from.
It sounds like something Joe Biden would say. But anyway, let's get back to business.
It's my pain. Let me hold it.
Hey, the Freedom State of Florida, by the way. We were at Jordan Peterson last night, and Jordan Peterson, as they warm up the crowd, they said, thanks for having us in at the St. Petersburg, maybe. St. Petersburg, Florida. And the crowd erupted. And dude, the patriotism, it felt like I was at the most American, genuine, fun environment I've been literally in 2 to 4 or 5 years.
Were you actually in St. Pete though? Because St. Pete is actually a city that's not necessarily as conservative here. It's not a bad or good thing. I'm just curious.
Yeah,
because that's where I was born and raised.
Some center, the Gabe Center, maybe I don't know, some concert hall, opera plays there. It was I don't know. It was about an hour and 20 minutes here, just west of Tampa.
That's cool. No, it's great.
It was great. I mean, I was so surprised because I've never said "Hey man, I'm from Michigan." Woo!
Yeah.
But people over here were like, "We're from Florida," and what? I mean, dude,
we're proud of our state for sure.
Yep. Absolutely. Like that. Caleb and I literally talked like, hey, what you got on Jordan Peterson? We're like, I don't know, but that welcome to Tampa, like chant rally. That was. I don't know. Florida's got it going on. You guys got it going on. Yard Mastery. A lot of folks know you guys. A lot of folks maybe don't know you guys. Give me like we call it the highlight reel. Mm-hmm. Give me like the 2-minute highlight reel, Brett or Alan, whoever wants to cover it.
Take it away, Al.
Who are you guys? What do you got going on? Where are you guys from? All that fun stuff.
All right. Well, I'll give you my quick. So I have a YouTube channel called The Lawn Care Nut that I started about 12 years ago.
This is me. It's mine. That's you? Where's mine? Okay, go ahead.
That's his Coke.
Yeah, that's mine over there. Go ahead.
Not a sponsor.
So I started the YouTube channel about 12 years ago, just as a fun hobby, little side hustle, doing a little thing, answering some questions on lawns, because I actually love lawns, and teaching DIYers how to take care of their grass. Well, fast forward to where we are now, and a couple of years ago, I got together with my business partner, Josh Whitford, and we started a company, Yard Mastery, which is two things. It's an e-commerce company. We have our own brand of fertilizer that we sell only to DIYers, one single bag at a time, right to your house.
Okay.
So we do that, and we have our own programs and everything that I've written that are based on soil temperatures and timing and grass type, and we've put those into an app. So we have the Yard Mastery app that you can download. You can put in your zip code or your actual address, and it will give you the soil temperature up to the 24-hour average, your soil temperature of your house. And then that dictates a program, because soil temperatures are what help us get started during the year, depending on your grass type. So it'll recommend during the year a custom program of fertilizer for you, and you can upload photos in there and track it and do all that. So that's kind of what we are. We're an e-commerce business with an app that powers it.
So there's a whole story there, right? So you said you started making YouTube videos, I think about a decade ago, probably, right, by now? And were people making YouTube videos back then for lawn care, or people were barely even making YouTube videos in general? Maybe like Philip DeFranco and Dancing Baby, right?
Yeah, and let's see, who was the big, well, I can't remember. I mean, well, who's the original YouTuber for lawn care that I can never remember?
Greg Chisholm.
Greg Chisholm. So he was around then.
Yeah.
And I remember he would shout people out, and I used to always want to get shouted out on one of his videos.
Yeah.
So that was around in our space. Yeah, as far as big YouTubers that were around back then, Epic Mealtime was big back then. And
yeah, Shaytards.
Yep.
That was probably the biggest.
For sure, they were big. That was a family vlog deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched all those guys. Smile More. Who's that? That guy from Ohio.
Roman Atwood.
Roman Atwood. Yeah, he was big. The pranks were big. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I even think I was around before that. I don't necessarily remember YouTube when I first started it, but.
Okay, cool. So you guys started making YouTube videos, and your story, like you said, or maybe cover this real quick. I was grabbing my soda, but you guys worked at TruGreen, and so when I actually first met you in person, I was like, just starstruck. I'm like, oh my God, it's Allyn Hane. Like, get the fanboyness out of you. But at the same point, I really respected what you did, who you are, what you're doing, still do, obviously. You got a great thing going on. And it was, I met you at Jason Creel's Lawn Care Life Conference.
Yeah.
So we were sitting at that restaurant in the booth, and I'm like, I didn't know your whole story. And you were like, yeah, I used to work at TruGreen. And I'm like, dude, I used to work at TruGreen. You're like, no way. So like we were two Midwest boys catching up about fertilizing lawns. And I just really enjoyed the conversation. And I'm like, I get home, tell my wife, she's like, how's Alan? I'm like, dude, he's like me, but 10 years older. Like he's the coolest dude ever. And because I'm really cool. And I'm just kind of, whatever that is, right? So
you didn't know any better.
No, I didn't know any better. But that was such a fun conversation. I was really impressed by your business acumen, what you guys were starting to build, because this was 3, 4, 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, these guys have it going on. Like they're smart businessmen. They're really passionate about the green industry space, the DIYer space. So let's go really quick to Brett. How did you get involved in this whole scheme with Alan? Because this is a really cool partnership, and what you guys got going on now, I don't even know if Alan saw it this big 5, 10 years ago.
Yeah. So I worked for a company called DoMyOwn.com.
Okay.
And I was running the Western U.S. branch for them.
Okay.
And I had gotten into lawn and landscaping pretty big, and I had started my own YouTube channel. And so me and Alan were kind of acquaintances at that point. He knew who I was, I knew who he was, and he was coming out to Utah, and that's where I was living at the time. And
you're in Florida now.
I'm in Florida. Yeah. I'm here in the Bradenton area full time now.
Yeah.
And
beautiful area, by the way.
Yeah, it's gorgeous here.
Yeah.
So he was coming out there to get together with some business partners of his, and I reached out to him on Facebook, I think, and I was like, "Hey, man, I know you're coming out here. I've seen some people complaining about how things are showing up their house, from Yard Mastery. I was running a warehouse doing, small package logistics.
Okay, yeah.
And so I told him, I'm like, hey man, when you're in town, why don't you pop by my place? Maybe I can give you a couple pointers, because I didn't know what they were doing at Yardmaster. I didn't know how they were processing.
But we were trying
orders.
to figure it out.
And they didn't know either, really.
You were building this direct-to-consumer brand.
Right. None of us ever ran an e-commerce business before, but the customers demanded that we do it, so we learned it.
Right. Okay. So I was working for an e-commerce company and had been doing that for 10 years.
Wow.
And so I told them, I'm like, hey, when you're out here in Salt Lake, like, let's sit down. Maybe I can point you in the right direction. Give you some tips.
Why were you in Salt Lake? Just a business trip or whatever?
Yeah, I have other business partners there.
Okay.
And so he was like, yeah, sure, I'll come by. And so he came by. We chatted for 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
And at the end of the conversation, he was like, look, man, why don't you just come do it for me?
Yeah.
And
some chemistry there.
Right. So I told him, I said, you can't afford me. And here I am a year and a half later in Bradenton, Florida.
And I still don't really like him, but
right. So if you were to ask me what my job description is now, basically my job is to be Allyn's friend. Because he
pays you a lot of money.
He doesn't have a lot of friends.
It is true. I do take him fishing a lot. I don't know.
We pal around and do things that Allyn would do if he had friends.
You guys sound like an old married couple to me, and it's been a beautiful relationship here.
So yeah, but it's been really good. Honestly, I obviously do more than just hang out with Allyn.
Yeah.
But it's been great, and Yard Mastery has grown leaps and bounds even in just this last year that I've been here.
Yeah.
And I'm super excited to the things that we have in the works right now, and I think we've got a lot of unique things, especially for the DIY community.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited for some of the things that we've got coming in the pipeline.
I like it. One thing, so a lot of the folks listening in, they're lawn care professionals, right? They're the contractors, the guys that are mowing grass all day, like myself included, and the guys that work with me and for me. So one thing that I always talk about Allyn, because you don't necessarily participate in the contractor space, right? You're in the homeowner space, and it's kind of siloed. There's been a lot more blending lately in the last couple of years, and everybody's friends, and that's totally cool. There's a lot of other great DIYers out there, and I'm friends with quite a handful of them, and they're always really cool guys. Jimmy Lewis over in Utah, he shot me a DM. He saw my story. He's like, dude, you're in Utah? I was literally leaving like that same day because we were there for a week, but we were just trying to keep it off the radar because it was just a family vacation. Yeah. And I'm like, well, next time I get over there, dude, like, let's do a video. Let's hang out. Now, it's also in the dead of winter, so I'm like, maybe we can shovel snow.
I know Jimmy works for us.
No way.
I hire all my friends.
No shoot.
Yeah, he's one of our developers on the app.
Is he over there?
Yeah.
He's still over there?
Yes.
Wow, no kid.
We have 4 developers located in Salt Lake.
Well, if you just send the PJ up to Michigan, then I can get over to Utah and we can go do the deal,
We might hire somebody over there eventually,
That's awesome, man. So I told Jimmy, I said, well, hang tight, man. I'll be back same time next year. We said it's like family trip that we're going there once a year.
It's beautiful.
Oh my gosh. Literally, I told Liz, I'm like, why are we living in Michigan again? Like we could move, but that's a whole other story for a whole other time. It's like Utah, Oklahoma, or Florida. And
we have an office in Bozeman too. Why don't you just quit and come work with us?
Bozeman, just recruit everybody.
Or Bradenton. You choose. Which one of the 3 you want?
Well, like Brett was just saying here, I don't know if you can afford me one of those deals, right? So I don't know if it was equity or a salary, Brett, but we'll talk after this. We'll do a separate podcast on 4 ways to negotiate your paycheck, with Brett Goodyear. So to go full circle to talking, we're talking contractors here. You guys got to realize too, this is something I learned, like I said, hanging out with Jason Creel and yourself at dinner, was you guys are really smart business people. You're great marketers. You're great digital marketers. You're really good at getting customers. You're really good at solving problems. You guys, I like your mission. Your mission is, and it goes full circle to your story, Allyn, which was there's more out there than a 20. What's your line? A $29.95 app. We'll spray and pray.
Right.
Give that really quick because I love your soundbite on it.
Yeah, because we used to sell on price, and so when you sell on price, then when it comes to a challenge or the customer wanting to cancel, you only have price to fall back on, not your quality, not your experience, not your workmanship or your results, none of that.
Right.
So you start from a terrible foundation, and I wanted to get away from that.
And this was back at the National Fertilizer Company that you worked at, I had worked at, right? Yep. Different time periods, obviously.
Totally.
Back when dinosaurs roamed the planet and all that deal, right? So back then, and I'm flying around with the Jetsons, obviously now, right? Just having some fun. But I like your guys' mission, which was, hey, we want to help people grow a lawn and a healthier lawn, and there's a lot more going on here. And so I always tell people, like, learn from Allyn and his team from business and marketing and emails and customer acquisition and how to take care of the customer. And like you said, talk about quality. Because if you sell on price, like you said, you're always gonna have to backpedal the price. But if you sell on quality and then you maybe miss the step, they will always let you redeem themselves. but on price, you're done. Forget it. Return, cancel. You're done.
Yep,
So what are you guys most excited about right now with Yard Mastery? Brett, you were just alluding to some projects that you guys got coming up in the future. So for any of these guys that maybe they have their own lawn, or they might have some products or services that you guys market, they want to double dip. What's some new and exciting things you have been working on the last 12 months?
We are stoked about the 6 brand new resources that we have just for you at LawnTrepreneurAcademy.com. I'm Mr. Producer, and Brian has been working hard to make sure the resources you've been requesting are now available for download. We have the landscaping bid form and estimate sheet,
This is going to be huge. I'm so excited about making this available to our landscaping friends.
the customer cancellation of service letter,
Canceling customers and pruning your business is one of the most important things you can do.
the subcontractor agreement form,
If you guys are hiring subcontractors, use a subcontractor agreement.
the change of order landscaping form,
There's not a landscape job you do where something doesn't change. They want to add lighting, they want to change plants, they want to change things around.
the employment application form,
Now we have that at LawnTrepreneurAcademy.com. It's $30. Every person you bring into your organization needs to fill out the employee application.
the employment handbook and company guidelines.
When we hire new people, they are going to get an employee handbook, they're going to sign off on it, and it's just another way to CYA.
Get instant access to these 6 new resources plus 30 more at LawnTrepreneurAcademy.com.
All these documents are downloadable, editable, and you can customize them to your business.
And I want to say one thing real quick to go back to it. You're talking about how we're siloed a little bit with the pro and the DIY.
Yeah.
I don't do that on purpose. I love hanging out with you guys. I love hanging out with the pros.
Vice versa.
I can only focus so much content in one place. And
Yeah.
I feel like I can't give proper teaching to both. And by the way, I've been out of the pro industry now for 10 years, and I don't feel qualified to teach anymore in that realm. But,
That's fair.
if somebody wants to learn what is pounds on the ground, why do we use nitrogen the way we do, those are the things that all go back and forth. So
Yes.
if I teach you how to spray a lawn, if I teach you how to physically put down an app and why we used this many pounds on the ground and why we measured the lawn, and that's all the same. And so in that regard, that's why Jason Creel's conference is the only one I speak in, because I get to have a lot of fun. And we talk about marketing there and all that. So I just want to say I really like hanging out with you guys and talking this way, because I don't get to talk this as much. Now, back to what we have going on. The biggest thing I'm excited about is our app. Some changes this year that pros can use too. We don't market it to pros. It's not for you guys.
Right.
But if you're somebody that wants to just understand what's going on in your area, like, hey, I know that, right? And I'm thinking about this. If I just mow lawns, but I still want to provide extra value for my customers, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is one of those things. And by the way, I didn't mean it. You just mow lawns. I don't mean that to sound the way it did.
Sure.
But that's my thing, right? That's my shtick. I mow and blow, and I get it done, and I get it done properly, and then and that's my money. But what if I want to provide some extra value to my customers? Because one day I may want to get into the spray side, or I may want to do something simple like a Lime apps, right? So that you may not have to be licensed for example.
Sure.
I'm just throwing out that. So I'm going to then provide examples. So if I have Allyn's app and it tells me that, hey, it's time right now in my area to put down crabgrass pre-emergent because it's testing the soil temps, well, then maybe I throw an email out. Hey, folks, we know that you only use us for this, but we want to let you know this is the time if you DIY or you work with a service to get your crabgrass pre-emergent.
Yes.
See how you're providing, and you use my app to get that for free. Didn't cost you anything. So that's kind of cool.
FYI, if you want to know what the app is, it's Yard Mastery.
Right.
So if you go onto the App Store, search
such a good
Yard
marketer,
Mastery.
Spoiler alert right there. You know?
So I'm trying to find some crossover to use it. So, and I think that's a good deal. The other thing is, we have soil tests. I brought my partners, My Soil. They have contractor soil testing, so you can buy like multiple soil tests that are a lot cheaper for a contractor.
Was that the kit you brought?
Yeah, it's like a contractor
Like
pack.
a 12 or 18 pack or something?
Yeah, and so what you can do is you can offer that as a service to customers. And again, just to have the data, who's going to say no?
Right.
But now you just had an interaction with a customer. You got to maybe have a conversation with them about something. You got to understand some of their needs. So you can classify them certain ways to maybe go later.
Yeah.
Anytime you can get data for a customer, but on a customer's property, you could use that in the future in some way. For example, if the pH is off, this is where you could go with a Lime app maybe, or recommend it, or just be a resource to them.
Yeah. Well, I liked what you said, to go full circle to GA Plus Expo. There was like a live panel that we did. You were on it. Quite a few other people were on it. And you had said something along the lines of, and I'm paraphrasing here, but jump in and correct me if I'm wrong, but you said something like, when you have an educated customer, it's easier for us to have an easier conversation with that customer. So don't feel threatened by anything you guys are offering. Feel encouraged that when your customer's like, hey, we need to suggest this, this, and this, and they go, oh yeah, well, that's because this, and this is going on, right? So yeah, that makes sense. Please go ahead and do it. it's instead of us like coming in like Mr. Salesman, hat saying, hey, you need this, and they're like, how much is it? They're already watching your guys' content, for example, or they're subscribed to something or a newsletter or your podcast, and they're like, oh yeah, I listened to this one guy. He said you guys might have to offer this to fix this problem because the army worms went through, and so we're talking about it, and it just makes that conversation so much easier. And I thought that was like a really great way that what you guys are doing is meeting what all of us are doing out in the field.
And I would hope there are those synergies. 'Cause that comes up because sometimes I've had contractors approach me and they're upset that I've said certain things or given out information that they don't think should be out in the public. And I say, let's look at it the other way. If you're trying to convey to your customer to do something right now, use a video of mine that has 1 million views on it, which is social proof,
right,
and link to it or embed that in your. That's why this is all in public. You can embed videos from YouTube.
Yeah,
embed that and go, here, this guy agrees with us.
Right,
and he has 1 million views.
Yeah,
so it's okay to use my content to bolster yours.
Yep.
That's a good idea. I've already made it for you. Use it.
It's like a third-party testimony almost, right? Like it's the credibility. Yeah. So you don't have to be the answer man, or you don't even have to be as technically able to answer the question. Customer comes at you something, find an Allyn Hane video, send it to them.
Well, so that happens. I get guys all the time. They'll say they'll use some of my videos to train their specialists in the spring, and I love that stuff. I mean, that's great.
Most of the companies use mine to train them on how to rebuttal against demos and how to not buy a lawnmower when I bash it. So, just kidding. I actually had a company say that once. He goes, "Yeah, I train all my sales rep about all the things you said negatively about a lawnmower." And I said, "Wow, you're a jerk." And this guy had went around the country for a year. Oh yeah, you would know the name.
Oh boy.
Big H. And I said, oh, that's exciting. Thank you, sir. And that was a real conversation.
Man, and we think we have drama on our side. We had drama too.
No, man.
We got that baby mama drama on our side. Man.
Yeah. Well, I said, what the heck is going on? I said, you're using this to train all your sales reps? And I said, well, thanks for using my video. So yeah, he showed it to like 10,000 people, which
make sure you click like.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said, well, do you like watch it as an individual view every time? Like, come on, help me out here. Try to get my micro penny. You know what I'm saying? That's really, really cool. So Yard Mastery, you guys got it going on. You have help me explain the facility and the headquarters, because it's you went from like an e-commerce business, and it still is, but you have a brick and mortar, not a store necessarily. So I don't think so.
We don't necessarily have a retail store.
Okay, that's what it is. Yeah,
it's
but you have a warehouse.
We have a warehouse here in
offices.
Lakewood Ranch, and then we've actually got a couple other places that do some shipping for us as well. But yeah, no brick and mortar retail store.
So what's somebody buys something on the app? What happens? What's the whole customer journey, right? So they find Allyn's videos, they find the app or the podcast, find the app, they get the recommendations, and then what happens from there? They get an order on the app?
Yeah. So basically, they would purchase. Just like on Amazon. Let's say you're on Amazon, you're buying something.
Yeah.
You purchase it. And then, within 24 hours or so, you get a notification that it's shipped. Same thing happens with us.
No kid.
We're functioning literally exactly how any other e-commerce business would function.
Did you guys have to go to the fertilizer companies and the partners? And I mean, I would imagine you brokered all of this. You had to have the conversations, and you're building this multi-million-dollar, maybe even more now outfit out of a warehouse. Like, did you see this 5-10 years ago? Did you think this is where it was going to go, or were you just like, hey, we'll make digital download products? Or
you got it. That's what I thought. I thought we would just sell ebooks.
Okay.
I never thought I would do an app.
Okay.
I thought I would sell ebooks and t-shirts, and that was going to be fun, and that's what I was going to do.
Sure.
But over time, the audience tells you what they want. And so inside the ebook, I would try to recommend fertilizers, because a lot of folks, and folks that I work with, they don't want to learn just the math and then go to somewhere and buy their own. What they want is me to teach them the math and the why behind it, but then they want me to tell them exactly what to put down.
Yes.
And that's okay. That's all right, though.
And there's a lot of customers that literally had begged to Allyn, and as an outsider before the last year or so, there was a lot of people that were literally begging Allyn to come up with something for them to use, because before Yard Mastery started, Allyn was using Milorganite.
Right. Okay, yeah.
And it was the only thing I could recommend. By the way, I'm going to buy you a really expensive steak for that comment.
There you go.
But there was...
Oh, is that good or bad?
It's good. Just telling me people are begging me to do stuff.
No, but it's true. It's true from the
Yeah.
outside perspective, because I was an outsider looking in, watching Allyn's videos just a year and a half ago.
I remember all that. Just a year or two ago.
Right. So literally, Allyn was saying, hey, Milorganite is a product that everyone in the U.S. can get. And then what happened was he had some videos that blew up.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, you couldn't find it anywhere. And so people, again, watching this from the outside, people are literally telling Allyn, I can't find Milorganite anywhere. What can I use? I need to know what I can use. I can't find it.
I remember those days.
So
I think I tagged you. I was at Home Depot and I tagged you.
Right,
and you were like, find something that ends in like, something phosphate.
Biosolid. I was telling you, look for biosolids, right?
Right.
I was looking for an alternative. I remember that.
So what that did was force his hand.
It was gone. You couldn't find it anywhere.
Right. It forced his hand to say, well, okay, we have to find an alternative.
Yeah.
And
right?
but that's fun. It's forced my hand. Sounds like it was like, but it became a fun process because then I was
Right.
like, well, we could actually really dial my program in. And so we did. We created 4 products. So we have a 4-step program, but it's ours. It's mine. It's based on my nitrogen rates that I recommend.
Yeah.
My timing. So what it did is it took my ebook essentially, and now it's in an app. So the ebook is in the app. So instead of having to do everything manually, the app does it for you. And then there's a product recommended that's exactly what I recommend in the app and in the book. So, so people have this plug and play.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you where I got the idea from. But they also, because I do so much on education, they understand why they're doing it. So it's not like a Scott's where they just buy it because it's step 1 that my dad always bought.
Right.
By the way, what I call our app and my philosophies and what I teach is what I call my Scott spreader. In other words, somebody comes into our app, into our ecosystem, they like our programs, they like the results they get, they stay.
Yes.
Because then all of my products go down with the same spreader setting. They're all 3 pounds per thousand. So there's some other things to make it easier.
Sure.
This is what Scott's has done. The reason that Scott's does so well with their 4-step is because you get the Scott spreader, and every one of the products is 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right.
It's in our spreader, and you never leave.
Portioned correctly.
Yes, you never exactly right.
And that's selling an 80-pound bag for your 3,000 square foot lawn.
And we're working on that. So that's the things we're dialing in over time.
Cool.
But the difference is we're not on every Home Depot shelf. We're the internet version. But there's a lot more. We have a community. There's no real. Well, I shouldn't say Scott's has a community, but we have the niche community. You know what we are? We're craft beer to Budweiser. That's
right.
what we are.
That's right. Yeah. I like it. You guys got it going on. You guys mind if I do this really quick here? I'm trying to see if this will work. Let me see if I can. My phone's on, like 1% juice, but I have somebody that I want to dial in. We're going to phone a friend. We're going to see how this goes. This could be a colossal failure, or it could be super successful. You know how these go, Allyn.
You got that Bluetooth going on in that fancy board.
I don't know. I got 0% battery on the phone. We'll see how this goes right now.
Hey, man.
Hey, what's up, Brian? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing well. How's the warm weather by you?
Oh, we're living the dream. Beautiful 75 degrees Tampa, Florida, man. How's things back at home?
Chillier than that. Snow yesterday, no snow today.
Okay. We got about 6 to 9 inches of wet concrete slush back at home. So can you believe that?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good time.
Awesome. Hey, I actually doing a podcast here, and I tried to do this last time, but it didn't work out because he's probably flying in his private jet. But we got him here live. I've got Allyn Hane, the lawn care nut, and his right hand man, Brett Goodyear. So Brian is a huge fan of yours. His son is a 16-year-old young man over in Grand Rapids, Michigan. He's got about 40, 50 customers. Kids making killer money. His
Is this
dad,
Brian with Jake?
Brian and Jake.
Yeah, I know these guys.
We
No
met.
shoot.
Yeah. We chatted at GIE. It was awesome.
No way.
Yeah, Brian B. Yeah, man.
Dude, there you go. I didn't know you guys got to catch up.
Yeah, I know Jake's Quality Lawn Care,
No
boys.
way.
Oh, we love Jake.
No way. This is good stuff. So you guys know each other.
All the Jakes are in my
We
life.
do.
Yeah, man.
I tried to call him when Brian and his son Jake came over maybe last year summer in the spring, and I tried to give you a buzz, but it just went to voicemail. So I think your phone was off. And but I was like, dude, you got to meet each other. And he's like, I love Allyn's videos. He did lawn care back in college and all this stuff. But Brian, anyway, you tell your story. But I just want to connect you guys. I didn't know you guys already met.
Oh, I know all about his big leap.
We
he just
did.
made.
We're old
Yeah.
friends.
Good Lord, this is awesome.
But tell the story. It's a good story.
We'll still give you credit, Brian.
I'm doing my best to broker the deal. You know what I mean? That's awesome.
Credit.
Well, by the way, a little update since you guys probably caught up in GIE. Brian had a little transition.
I saw that. I saw it on Facebook.
Brian, what's going on with all that?
did.
How's things going there?
I went all over full time with my kid on his business, helping my kid chase his dream. It's the best.
Yeah.
I'm actually sitting in my home office right now working on bookkeeping
That's awesome.
for the business.
You do that adult work, man.
I know. That's what it is.
That is so cool. How's Jake doing? Everybody doing good over there and rocking and rolling?
He's good. He's in school. He'll be home here in about 10 minutes.
Yeah. Wow.
So he's busted it on the schoolwork. February is the month where we get all the bids and contracts sent out for people to look over and sign off on. So
Yep. I got
getting going on that, getting the website updated. just all that behind the scenes stuff you do when it's cold out.
That's awesome, man. He's going full time with Jake this year.
I know.
That's
I think
so
that
cool.
is awesome. That's like a dream, man.
I said you need to make sure that you guys rock and roll with that, and then be available for Hot Dial because he's great with youth ministry. So I said, when my kids get older, I'm going to call.
right.
I'm going to call you when I got Maydays. He said, anything I can do for you, brother, I'm here to help you out. So,
And I can see a lot of possibilities here. It's awesome.
Absolutely, and some of the best people I know, super great people, really kind people, very sewing into you kind of people. So any which way, Brian, just want to say, hey, really quick, man. I didn't know you guys already got the whole hoopla at Expo.
I'm glad you thought you were going to surprise me.
That would have been awesome, man.
Hey,
No,
any
it's still
chance
awesome.
to talk to Alan's a good day. So.
You too, bro.
There you
I
go.
love it, Brian.
All right, brother. Well, tell Jake we said, hey, man, and I'll definitely catch up with you guys before you know it. All right.
I'll do that for sure. Take care, guys. Have a good day.
See you, man.
See ya.
All right, we'll see you, brother. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
That's funny right there.
Yeah, that was good.
Dude, when they came over to my house, he's like, you know Allyn Hane, the lawn care nut? And I pull up my phone. I'm like, yeah. I can't tell you how many times, I think I probably text you and bother you too much with people back at home. They're like, oh, I'm like, yeah, I'm on YouTube. I do some lawn care stuff. They go, I watch lawn care videos all the time. And I'm like, yeah, who do you watch? Like anybody in particular? Like, man, the lawn care nut. I mean, everybody, every time it's you. And I'm like, yeah, I'm like, I know Allyn. They're like, you know Allyn Hane? I'm like, yeah, like, and I'm thankful to know you because I felt like,
no, man, that you can text me anytime. It's not like I'm not that busy. Jeez.
No, I don't know.
He's not that busy.
No,
Probably not. Maybe I don't know.
I'm
one time I
literally
called.
fishing. All I do is go fishing and mow the lawn. That's
Well,
pretty much
maybe
it.
you were in the ocean and didn't have a signal. I don't know because I called and
I'm
went.
sorry, I missed that.
Unbelievable. I thought you just blocked my number like everybody else, but
No.
stop calling Fullerton. But it was just funny because people like back at home in Michigan, dude, huge fan club. Like people love watching your videos. You'd be surprised. I'm like, yeah, I know Allyn Hane. They're like, you don't know Allyn. I'm like, I pull up my phone, my contacts. I'm like, right here, it says Allyn Hane. I have you in there, the lawn care nut. I'm like, it's Allyn Hane, lawn care nut. It's like, you know Allyn? I'm like, yeah, dude. Like, what's he like? They get all like, I'm like, he's a normal dude and he wears sandals and flip flops. He's a regular guy. And I don't know. It's funny, man. You got a huge following, you guys are making a huge impact out there. And I'm really excited about what you got going on.
Thanks. I'm going to buy some on clouds and come up. We'll do a meetup.
Only on Wednesday nights because it's Bible study night, right?
Well, that's when I want to come.
That's right. All right. Well, I don't know if they clear if you go to the airport or the Clearport because you fly private, but we might be able to get you in. What do you got, like the Lear 650 now with the yard mat, the YM on the tail?
Well, I don't know. Your church is going to pay for my flight, so because I'm speaking,
All over
on Sunday.
Well, it's all about making money.
Yeah.
We're trying to get a tithe off you.
Oh, I'll bring them in. Bring them in from the fields of sin.
Oh, this is just good stuff.
Sorry, I took it off the rails, man.
bad.
That was bad.
Hopefully you guys can enjoy the content here. You can tell it's just good time, people hanging out, and good friendships that I can't look at this man straight in the face without laughing. How do you guys do it all the time? Do you guys just bicker like this all day long?
No, we really don't like each other, so it's okay.
Allyn actually doesn't come to the office.
That's how it works.
I don't see him.
And
And
Jim-
then when he does come to the office, I leave.
Yeah.
So-
And Jimmy Lewis is like, keep 1,500 miles in between us.
Jimmy, we make Jimmy work and then we go fishing.
Oh, no.
We send them the Instagrams and tag them when we're. That's so bad.
He's over there drowning in snow. Help me.
Without fail, I always get a message from Jimmy
Sure.
every time we're putting anything up on Instagram when we're fishing.
Is that right?
Jimmy's
Everybody's
like,
welcome to move here. That's why we have an office here. So
You guys are awesome, man. And that's a great proposition. We were flying down. Last thing I'll say, we were flying down, and I look at Liz. We're on the airplane. It's just miserable. 7 degrees, snow, and the whole deal, right? Whatever. And I'm like, why are we in Michigan again? And I basically ask that question every time the airplane takes off because I'm like, this could be the last time. Not that we're gonna die, but we go back to Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
And so I go, why do we live here again? And she's like, every time you ask that, I usually have a good answer. This one, I got nothing. She goes, I am starting to catch your drift that we need to get here. I don't know.
it's the gray skies. I know. It's seriously, you have that. It was same in Indiana. It's like
it's the
gray,
seasonal depression thing.
Yeah, the sky's the same color as the street, and
Yeah.
the snow becomes the same color. It's bad, man.
And then like the grass and the trees and everything stays brown until end of March, first part of April. Yeah. Down here, things are greens. I don't know. There's just something about a palm tree. It just makes me excited. I'm like, I literally can just walk outside on the sidewalk, look at a palm tree and smile and go, what's up, bud?
Way up high.
He's just
in a
waving.
coconut
He's
tree.
like,
sing it.
There you go. If you know, sing along. He's been day drinking. But any which way, we're just having fun. All right. Well, where can you already dropped a couple things where people can find you, but if people don't know you and they want to go down the rabbit hole, where can they find more of you guys?
Just search for the Lawn Care Nut or Yard Mastery, and Brett is Brett's Grasscapades if he ever uploads.
That's right. That's
whatever else you got. What other socials?
Consistency is key.
Instagram, I'm at Brett Goodyear.
There you go. Give him a follow.
We have a lot of fun on there.
Yeah.
There you go. Give him a follow.
Lots of grass and golf.
That's right. And you guys how long have you been over here then? You've always been in Florida?
No, I moved here in November of 2020.
From Indiana?
From Utah.
No, he moved here
from
for
Utah.
us.
Okay.
Yeah, he moved here to work for us.
Is that right? And then you were from Indiana?
Yeah, well, I was born and raised in St. Petersburg, but I lived up in Indiana for 15 years. That's where I went to school at.
Really?
Yeah, I worked for TruGreen.
Okay, no kidding. Wow, so then you came back on down.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Okay, was that always the plan?
Always.
Okay, fair enough. Well, Paul's down in Atlanta. He came from Ohio, and he's down here with like a jacket on when it's like 55 degrees. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, you're from Ohio. He's like, nah, dude. He's like, I'm from Atlanta now.
Yep, yeah.
You climatize real fast.
That's what he said. He goes,
I lived in Utah. It was cold and snowy during the winter.
Yeah.
And like
took him 2 years.
If it's below 70, I'm like, it's kind of chilly.
Wear a sweater. We got here, it was 50 degrees and windy, and I'm in shorts and a t-shirt. I'm like, this is incredible. You guys are awesome.
You can tell the people that are in town from cold places because they're the ones in flip-flops.
No, they're the ones in the water out there right now.
Right, yeah.
You guys,
this is
you
great.
guys aren't the people out there swimming, are you?
No. I'm not that bad.
That's Canadians out there swimming.
Is that right? Yeah. Well, then they get out with their like Canadian Goose, jackets and all that mess. But yeah, that's crazy, man. Well, we love Canadians coming down to Florida too. Jordan Peterson. It was a really good time the other night, and I don't know. I keep telling Liz, I'm like, Tampa is beautiful. I like it over here.
Well, those Canadians when they go to these local bars and get drunk and start dancing, that's when all the fun happens.
All right. Well, fair enough.
People watching. I put that on Instagram. Have you ever seen it?
Yeah.
Maybe influencers in the wild.
No, I put out the old people dancing in their New Balance. You never seen? Oh yeah, you got to.
I don't think I've seen that.
Just go find Allyn Hane on Instagram.
My
gosh, it's me. It's
is that right?
Oh yeah, it's fun.
You ever watch the page on Instagram, influencers in the wild?
No.
Oh, if you want to go,
I've seen that.
You need to follow that page.
That's where people they're taking videos of like the Instagram models at the
doing
beach
their
doing stupid things.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's the best.
That's great.
It's the best. It's one of my favorite pages. Influencers in the wild.
You've probably been on there.
Probably.
Maybe one way, shape, or form.
Alan's laying in the grass.
You would be a guy, like if somebody was driving by watching you in the lawn, like talking to the camera, like they'd be like, look at this clown. But it's like they don't know who that is.
You've probably been on there.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I always tell Liz, I'm surprised we're not on there yet. Like we got to do a video and then a story and then do it again and again and again. I'm like, why? Just do it one take, but I got to get it right. You know how it goes. All right, man. Well, we'll button up right here. Super appreciate these guys coming on down. They got to get back over to sell Fert to the world to help everybody's lawn turn green and get rid of the weeds. If you guys want to give them a follow, it's Allyn Hane and Brett Goodyear for sure. And we appreciate Entrepreneur Academy and the Hardscape Academy sponsoring the 2022 Green Industry Hype House down here in beautiful Siesta Key, Florida. So, guys, that's what we got for you today. Look forward to catching up with you guys here on the next one.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production. Hey, a little treat for you today. Some bonus content from the Brian's Lawn Maintenance YouTube channel.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Brian here, Brian's Lawn Maintenance. Hey, quick question for you guys. What are you raising your rates this year in 2022? All right, that's the question I got for you on this video. Really quick, I'm actually at the house. We're about to run out and plow snow. Let me show you guys really quick, pan outside the window. We've got about 4 to 8 inches of snow coming down. It's gonna be crazy. Probably got about 2 of it so far, inch per hour rates. Getting ready to going out there. I actually gotta run to the gas station, which is right there. So can't beat that. So that's what we got going on tonight. One other thing we got going on tonight is answering a bunch of emails and DMs from you guys wondering what we are raising our rates for 2022. Let me set the camera down here really quick. So one of the questions I'm getting big time right now is what are we raising our rates for 2022? And that is a really good question. Here's one thing I'd love to have you guys do is let me know in the comments down below what you guys are raising your rates for in 2022. I'll tell you mine if you tell me yours, right? So most of our prices are gonna be going up anywhere from 7 to 11% across the board. And that's without really getting into the nitty gritty based on each individual service. Okay, so for example, fertilizer prices are up 20 to 30% just across the board with the cost of materials. Now, we don't fertilize, we have a subcontractor that does, but he already put me on notice to let me know that rates are going up. So that's my question for you guys. Now, I know we don't want to raise our rates or build our businesses necessarily off of anything that any one person says on YouTube. It's not like, hey, what are you doing? And that's what you should be doing too. But that being said, we get that. All right. So for the one smart aleck that wants to mention, hey, don't make your prices based on what everybody else is doing, I totally agree. But for the rest of us, let me know what you guys are raising your rates down below. Actually, I'll leave a little clip here, a little photo from a gentleman that bought our rate increase letter earlier, and he had a whole science formula, the whole deal, letting us know how he's going to be raising his rates and what it should be. I really like the technical answer. And then we actually have another guy who just implemented the rate increase letter, which is a small tool and resource you can get at launchpreneuracademy.com. It's like $49. It's a professional document you can send out to all of your folks as they re-sign up and you send all your loan agreements or residential contracts out in the spring. He had 46, I think, or out of 47 or 47 out of 48 people already accept his rate increase, which is pretty dope. So any which way, let me know what you guys are going up this year. If you do not raise your prices this year more than any other year before, you are automatically going backwards. The years of not having rate increases, $1, $2, $3 a week for your weekly mowing price, or 5, 10, 15%. It's just not where we're at in the current economy, right? Without going down that whole rabbit hole. So any which way, love to hear what you guys are doing for rate increases going into 2022. Ours across the board are going to be about 7 to 10% for just mowing, and some of the other services we're going to be going up from there. All right, that's what I got for you guys today. Just a short and sweet one. This is where all the magic happens inside the house. There's the computer set up, and we're just kind of hanging out here. I got getting a little antsy, waiting for that snow to finish falling here at about midnight, and then we're going to be out there plowing that snow, making that dough. Amen. So, all right, guys, leave me some comments down below. Love to hear what you guys are doing, and just real time. This is what we got going on over here, and we look forward to catching up with you guys here on the next one.